Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us for North Dakota Today on this Monday morning. I'm Lisa Bedeau here with Chris Berg. Did you just blow right in with the wind?
I was going to say, yesterday was beautiful. We just needed a little bit more of a breeze and it would have been just perfect, right?
I wanted to go to maybe the lake or to the pool, and I was like,
forget about it.
It was so
unbelievable.
windy.
I drove down to Wapton yesterday, and there was a few times where I thought, I'm not going to stay on the road. I mean, it's just throwing you all over the place. I don't know right now it's not too bad, but at one point yesterday too, when I was driving down, driving down the interstate, and there was one of those super wide loads, and I'm like,
oh yes,
this is going to be
scary.
Interesting. Yeah, it was. So everything's good though, but it was a little bit, and there's more wind in the forecast.
Yeah, wind, and it's kind of like a blast furnace because it's going to be hot, and over the weekend it was warm, but it was windy, and I think today we're going to get pretty, up into the 80s, and tomorrow as well, but of course, and I felt like yesterday it was something was going to blow in, like a storm or something, and we didn't really have it happen. Of course, you can do damage just with the wind. There's lots of trees and all that stuff knocked over.
I don't know why my brain goes there, but when you have days like that, I always think back to the Native Americans and the homesteaders, and you're like, how did they survive this in teepees and these huts for the homesteaders?
I know, because I feel like I was trying to huddle in my, in my backyard in a little nook just so I could still get some sun, but the wind was blowing.
But I'm in the house going, gosh, this is unbelievable.
The house was shaking. It was shaking. It's crazy.
It was crazy. So.
Well, it's going to be windy again today, so if you haven't left your house yet, don't bother fixing your hair. I was spraying and spraying. I went out just to grab something out of my car in between shows, and I was like, whoa, it's still very windy, just even here in South Fargo. But we've been talking a lot about trees being blown over and branches and all that mess. I was thinking I need to rush home because it's garbage day, so my cans will probably be at the neighbor's house. But a gal, we have actually had her on our show here, an artist, Connie Bruce. She wins with the biggest loss, I guess. This is some video you got to check out. Flea markets, of course, a challenging time for them with COVID-19. And now, if you're having a flea market in North Dakota, it's no good either. At the Bruce Flea Market over the weekend, an 80-foot tree was knocked down by the wind right into the vendors' tables. Just take 1 second here. Look at that. It was huge. In fact, people had to jump out of the way. 80 foot tall. I mean, that's going to knock out several people's table. What are you laughing at?
Look at the guy on the right. It looks like he's still shopping. If we go back to the video, he's looking at stuff going, oh, hey, this looks, maybe I can buy this.
That's probably scary at the time. And then he's like, yeah, let's just keep shopping.
But that's unbelievable. It wasn't even the upright. It just snapped.
Look at that poor little tea kettle underneath there.
Wow.
Several items on display were broken from the accident. There were 27 different vendors there. They only have this, once a year. Connie Bruce, I think when she was on, we did some paint by numbers. She does some different, you come into, or she can go to your house and you do some of these, projects together. Maybe she'll probably be able to make the most out of what is she going to create?
Exactly.
Find the when life hands you lemons. But anyway, that was the most incredible video that I think I've seen so far. Luckily, no one was hurt. Of course, some damage to some of the goods, which is, pretty significant as well if that's your
Speaking
business.
of lemons, I'm going to turn it into lime because over the weekend as well, avocados are back. I don't know if you know that or not.
No, I didn't know.
I whipped up some of my famous guac and it was just off the hook.
Nice.
Fantastic.
So you just had your own little party at your house.
Exactly, yeah. We didn't do the margies, but just, when the avocados are like how they are right now, and the tricked avocados, if they're not quite ripe, you put them in a brown paper bag for a day or so, and they get just perfect.
There was no leftover guac?
No. I mean, the guac is so good, I can't, but it gets to the point where I'm like this on the bottom of the bowl. It's that
Licking
good.
the spoon for brownies or licking the bottom of the bowl for guac.
It's just
no judgment.
Ooh, you could grab the avocados, some lime. I had jalapenos. I also like the habaneros, but then you just throw them in there and it's fantastic.
Seriously, I've said this before, you need to write down your recipe and share it.
We should do it one day on the show.
And make it on the show. I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll bring the chips if you make the guac.
All right.
Okay, let's get our entertainment update this morning. Pete Davidson reaches out into his past in the King of Staten Island, and hello, Cleveland. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is rocking again. Daniel Backus has our eye on entertainment.
Guests will have to stay 2 guitars apart from each other, but the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is reopening. Cleveland's Temple to the Rock Gods has been closed for the last 3 months because of the coronavirus outbreak. Rock and roll will never die, but guests will be required to sanitize their hands and wear masks at all times. The guitar Kurt Cobain played during Nirvana's 1993 MTV Unplugged concert is now on display at Julian's Beverly Hills before heading to auction. The rare Martin D18E guitar dates back to 1959 and comes with the original hardshell case. The guitar is part of the Music Icon sale at Julian's auctions taking place this week and is estimated to go for $1 million or more. Pete Davidson takes a royal turn in his new movie, The King of Staten Island. It's now available to stream on most video-on-demand services. The film is partially based on Davidson's life, focusing on his struggles after his father, a firefighter, died in the World Trade Center attacks. The King of Staten Island was intended to be shown in theaters, but director Judd Apatow decided he didn't want to wait for them to reopen. That's your Eye on Entertainment. Danya Backus, CBS News, Los Angeles.
I am a bit intrigued by him, so I think I might check that out.
Me too.
Interesting story. I've only heard like little bits, so. And I like too that they're not waiting for the movie theaters. I think it'll be a while till anybody wants to go there necessarily. Yeah, listening to the Kurt Cobain guitar going into, I was thinking I love 90s music, and over the weekend I was listening. We have an Alexa, and we go back and forth between Top Pop, and I was like, little Alexa, play 90s music, and it was a little Nirvana playing. I think it was like Smells Like Teen Spirit, and my 8-year-old was like, Mom, I cannot.
Really?
And she changed it, and I was like, well, also that's what I say when she's listening to something I don't like. No, I cannot today. I cannot. So, but I guess to each their own.
Yeah.
My girls. I tried to explain.
Fun,
I dug out my when we talked about it. I dug out my old Doc Martens, and told her how I used to wear Docs, and with my dresses and my flannel shirts. My 11, almost 12-year-old was very excited. She's going to wear the Docs.
She is.
They still pretty much look the same as what they're out now. But like I said, I'm like, these are real vintage, from the Nirvana days, Doc Martens. So there you go.
I want to see her wear the Docs with the newscaster top blouse thing. That would be money.
Can you imagine me like, here I am to sit down. They're so heavy, so heavy. Maybe that's a good leg workout. Oh well, I don't think you'll see that. Okay, we have our producer pick video before we wrap up our first segment here. He loves to find kind of crazy little videos, and this one I think fits the part. A driver in the Saudi city of Taif had an unexpected passenger to feed when a monkey started to share a bag of nuts through the car window. Oh, look at that. Apparently, this is a tourist hotspot where cars often stop along the mountainous roads to feed the baboons, which are usually the popular animals in the area. I don't think I would be sharing my bag of nuts with anyone, just any animal.
That'd be fun for a little while. I think after a while you're like, okay, what's going on here? And
how do you, you can't move now because you don't want to be the person who drove away with that monkey on your hood. All right, good stuff. Coming up here on North Dakota Today, some people aren't quite ready to go back to the gym, but it's beautiful out. You might have noticed a lot more people are running. We're going to get some advice on what it takes to, well, maybe just be a casual runner, or maybe you want to train for a marathon, a virtual marathon. We're going to talk about that next.